One day, me and my granddad were watching a film called Back in Time. We fell asleep. We woke up in Africa. We woke up with an African drink bottle in our hands. We were in a shack. I thought, do we live here? What year are we in? 1925, I think, said Grandad. Wow, this is amazing. We had a look around and all there was people, shacks and a few lakes. Then we came to the forest where all the animals were. This was like 10 times the size of a zoo, if not bigger. This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. There was a mini petting zoo. It's getting dark. Let's go to sleep. So we went to sleep after drinking water out of the cup. We woke up in the house. I said, this is weird. We watched the rest of Back in Time and went to bed.
In the 19th century, I was playing with my dad's pipe. I dropped it in the burn. My dad was asking, where is my pipe? I stayed quiet. I said, I dropped it in the burn. My dad was very upset and angry for me losing his pipe. So I went to my grand's house to visit. My gran told me a scary story from a long time ago. I said, nice try, Gran, you won't scare me. But a little did I know, suddenly I was transported in time to 100 years ago. I could smell stench. The pipe was gone. Everything was different. The clothes were different. Suddenly, I found a pipe. It was the same as my dad's pipe. I tried to smoke it. Nothing happened, so I rubbed it and whoosh, I was back in the 19th century.
One day in the 1980s, there was a young boy called Jack. He lived in a small tiny village called Coupar Angus in Scotland. He went into a storage shop and found an old man called Jim. Jim told Jack about stories of the past, and they were true. Jim looked a little fancy. He had the red checkered shirt and old-fashioned jeans and shoes and hat. Jim told Jack a story called Time Travels. The story starts with a boy called Harry. He was a 9-year-old boy. He lived in Coupar Angus too. His dad drank ginger beer as well. One night when Harry went to bed, he went back in time. The place Harry went in was a fierce and horrible place. Harry came back to Coupar Angus because he went to the past. The end.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy called Finn, and he was 9 years old. One fateful night, he was eating sip while he was listening to his boring gran. When I was a wee girl, we blah blah, oh how he hated it. Just then, a vortex of swirling smoke swirled around him. When he woke up, he was in the trenches of World War I in 1914. When he found a way to get up to the shops to buy food, carrots, butter, knife. He found a knife, so he bought it. When he got back to his house, he spread some butter on a slice of bread and began to eat. 5 minutes later, another vortex sucked him in. Then he could tell where he was. 1717. He found a shop called the Kicked Cow, and he found a spoon. It was the exact same spoon he was eating like the vortex one had sucked him in. Then he remembered he had the same knife in World War I and 2017, so he bought it. After a 4 mile, 1 kilometer, 60 meters, 80 centimeters, 13 inches and 5 millimeter walk, he used the knife on the street because his house had not yet been built and the bread was from World War I had been left over with him. 3 seconds later, the last vortex swirled around him. When he woke up, he was in 2017, 6:30 p.m. From then on, Finn always listened to his not-so-boring, now, grandma. And they all lived happily ever after. Or did they? Gran may have told Finn about history, but Finn had been searching for another vortex. He knew where he was. He was in the 12th of August, 44 BC, the day Cleopatra killed herself. Finn's mum told Rona's birthday. So when he heard the news, he was sucked into a vortex once again. When he finally woke up, he was in 1066 during the Battle of Hastings. After the battle, he was yanked into a portal. When they appeared, he was stunned where he was. 1815, aka the Battle of Waterloo. And worse, Finn was English. Lucky for him, the battle had ended, and English won the battle. When the final vortex sucked him in, Finn really did want to be sucked in. When he woke up, he was on the 18th of January 2017 at midnight. Then he lived happily ever after. For real this time. The end.
I was in my garden. My garden is tremendous. It smells like flowers and grass. I can see a family of birds. I can hear the family of birds singing in the sunlight. I sat on the bench as crooked as a crocodile's teeth. I could feel the rust growing and growing. On the bench as I sat down, my great auntie Rosie came out.
I strolled along the large empty street on my way home from school. I was halfway there when I stopped outside a shop. I thought I'd buy an apple to take home. As I stepped in, an old man said to me, "I shall transport you to the past." When he said that, a strange purple ball hit me hard in the stomach. Then quickly everything stopped and went back 100 years. I appeared on a pavement in the town square. I looked around, saw the library, Forfar Road, and the town square. I saw my house, but it wasn't really mine because I was in the past, so someone else owned it. I felt hungry and I had a bit of money, so I went to the shop. The shop I was looking for was the groceries. I went in and came out with an apple. Then I looked around and saw a small pottery shop and thought I would buy something to remember the time I went back in time. So I went in and bought a plate. I went outside and accidentally dropped it. I decided to fix it with sellotape, but as I touched the first piece, a hole appeared and I travelled back to the present with the plate I bought in one piece.
One Tuesday morning, January 2017, Rio had Francis. Francis told P5 about time travel in Coupar Angus, but I did not believe it. She kept going on, and I had a daydream, and I thought, is time travel real? Ding, ding, ding. Rio, wake up! Ah! Who are you? I said in a panic. Ah, Rio, don't be so silly. I am your father, Lucas. Did you find my new pipe? This is hundreds of years old. Ah, do you have something wrong? No. Wait, where's my phone? What in the name of Davy Jones' locker is a phone? What year is it? Same as yesterday, 1901. What? I come from 2017? No, that's 116 years away.
One day I was walking to the shop to get my tea when an old man with a pair of shorts and t-shirt gave me an old clock for free. He said, keep it safe and do not play about with it. I asked why, because something bad will happen.
When Jack had his dinner, he had to go to bed to get some rest. When Jack got in bed, he dreamed about something unusual. The dream was about the past, and Jack was really scared. In his dream, he saw red sparkly stones and a wall flooded with lava. He thought he was in a really bad place like hell. He saw weird hallways in a fortress in the past time. Jack got out of the past and saw weird stuff around his house. He saw a wooden floor when he had stone floors in his house. He heard someone drinking ginger beer. He smelt soup for his dinner. He tasted pork chops and sticks and touched the wooden floor to see if it was stable. It was stable, but Jack was scared because it might break. Jack finally woke up and his mum and dad and Jack had happily ever after.
One cold and frosty day at 3:15, I was jogging back to my new mansion and suddenly a random guy stopped and said, "Take this," and he gave me a cup. It was called the World War II cup.
One ordinary day of a person called Pat Patterson. He was going down Lorgan View and his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granny gave him a present.
To the most amazing battle of all time, the World War II. One tall man shouted, "Get in cover," so I followed his orders. I walked all over the messy mud.
2017, 18th of January, and the first thing Pat thought was his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great.
I got in a rusty old smelly bunker. I climbed down the chipped wooden ladders. I went to the bad team's bunker. I thought it was a long journey. The army leader took me by the arm and put me in the army prison. Army prison is terrible. It gives you Brussels sprouts for breakfast, lunch and tea. I absolutely hate Brussels sprouts.
Rio said, what? Pat said, wait, what year is it? Rio said, 1913. Pat said, 1913, a year before World War One. Rio said, first, calm down, and two, watch World War One. Pat said, yeah, the war that killed like 1 billion people.
One day I'm strolling down a street called Lerner Street. Louis Dye was going to my house. On the way, I found an old house. It was broken down. I went in. There was old shoes and bottles. One of the bottles were filled with lemonade. Once I was home, Louis went up to go play my Xbox 360. Then I drank the juice before my mum came up. There was a time portal. I risked it. Ah! Wow! I was on a cool blaster motorbike that was randomly shooting. I still had the bottle, so I put it on the ground. But I thought to myself, this can't be the past. It is, said the man. What is this then? This is a death machine. Once I defeated the foes, I went back to the bottle, but it was smashed. I was stuck. Help me to get out of here, I said. So I found another bottle with lemonade. I drank it. Whee! I'm back again. Yes! The end by Louis Dye.